back to Kelly Media Reviews. I'm your boy MK.
And I'm FK. And today we are going to be talking about colorism. You know, colorism is a major thing in all kinds of communities, and I feel like we need to talk about it. Well, let's talk about the different aspects of colorism.
Well, some people call it colorism. I think some of it is preferential. Also think some of it is kind of like actual prejudice. Everything is not colorism, but there is incidents of colorism going on in the community amongst men and women. You don't hear about the men, but I remember growing up in certain places where, you know, as you see, I'm a little light-skinned, you know, dudes who was dark-skinned used to tell me, light-skinned dudes ain't in style no more. Stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? I didn't get really picked on, but cats used to try to have their little jokes to say and whatnot, because I am lighter than, you know what I'm saying, most people, so.
And as for me, being a dark-skinned woman of color, I've dealt with it a lot. And honestly, it has been from light-skinned women. But I know that every light-skinned woman is not like that. But I have encountered situations where I've had a light-skinned woman maybe say something to me in the sense of, you're beautiful for a dark-skinned woman. And that's like, when you think about it, it's kind of like, why did the dark skin have to come in contact with what you're trying to display and just giving me a compliment? So I feel like colorism is a major thing, and I feel like in our community, I can only talk for the black community, I feel like in our community we might say something like, you know, like for example, somebody might be like, well, I prefer a dark-skinned man over a light-skinned man, and then at that point I feel like that becomes preference. Like, right. People like what they like. Like, some people like taller men. Some people may not like a shorter guy, or some people might like shorter guys, more built, more stockier built. You know, it's different preferences. So we can't always equate colorism for every little thing that happens. Like, okay, they only did that to me because I'm black, or they only did that to me because I'm dark skinned. Like, we have to get in tune with who we are and be happy with it, because when you think about it, colorism is just a term. You know what I'm saying? And they are promoting these agendas, but we have to understand that these agendas are being promoted worldwide, and it's not just, you know, black and white or dark skin, light skin, like all that stuff. When it comes to it, it doesn't matter. We are humans.
So do you think that people recognize the difference between preferential or, you know, colorism? Because, like, you know, a lot of ladies cry about colorism and stuff like that. But me personally, I feel like colorism only come into play when it's your own color of skin folk that's discriminating against you. I don't look at that as racism when it's a white person that's looking at a black person funny. That's more prejudice. You see what I'm saying? But when you talk about man and woman, that's not colorism at all. That's somebody's preference. It's not the same thing, but most people try to equate them as, or anytime somebody got something against you, then people just want to claim colorism, but I don't agree with that.
Well, I also believe that it's the music. Like, I feel like it's the music. I feel like when you're listening to a rap song or something, like, you'll hear something like, oh, light skin, whoever, big booty. Like, it's like the aspects and the attributes that they may put on a woman is usually, it tends to go for, like, when you think about it, lighter skinned women. And I'm not saying, like, I'm not going to go into detail about that, but I just want to mention that because I feel like it's just the media. It's the control of the agendas that's being placed, and we don't even know that we're doing it. Like, I feel like sometimes in communities of us as being humans, I feel like we dig deep into things that don't apply to us. Like, we shouldn't allow something to apply to us when it doesn't. But colorism has to be talked about because it is acted like people do use it to attack. You know, other bruised skin, but we just want to talk about it because it is a major thing, and I think it needs to be addressed. And me being a dark-skinned woman, I have dealt with things because I feel like, because I am a dark-skinned woman, but me just being black in general, I've dealt with a lot of things from lighter tones, and I'm just being honest. I've read articles.
Was it from women or men?
It was definitely from women. I feel like it was definitely from women. Like, in regards to men, I think, like, it comes to preference. You know, preference. Like, you might have a chick who be like, only want to do who got money. I mean, it is what it is, you know? And you have to accept that. A chick might be like, I only date tall, dark-skinned guys.
dudes or whatever.
She should be able to want that. You know, in our situation, it's different. I'm dark-skinned, I'm taller, my husband is shorter, but that doesn't matter because at the end of the day, it's not about that. We chose each other for each other, we love each other, and we've been with each other for a long time. And when I noticed when we first got into a relationship, I was talking about issues that he was talking about issues and it was just kind of appalling to me because I was like, I didn't realize that other people was going through similar issues.
Right. Do you think that people's colorism really protects them in the world, or is it just more of I kind of feel like it's more of a like in your own kind of race thing, your own ethnicity. I don't really feel like it's something that just everybody in the world. Because I'm light skinned, I'm gonna go over here amongst the world of where I have to go out and compete. I'm gonna get better treatment because I'm light skinned. No, at the end of the day, I'm still black. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still gonna get treated like as such. I'm still get looked at when I go into the stores.
From your character.
Right, you see what I'm saying?
I agree with you 100%, and I want to address you. Ask me do I get more of the colorism thing from men or women? And I would have to say women because I don't deal with men,
Right.
Per se. Just being honest, I don't deal with men on that level besides and whatever. But I deal with mostly women, and I've always gotten it from women. I've gotten, all kind of comments, you guys, like, oh, you mad because I'm lighter than you? Stuff like that I've heard, and it's been from a woman. I don't fight, I don't get into confrontations and scuffles with men. It's always been women. You know what I'm saying? And that's just being honest. And I have to talk about it because I am a dark-skinned woman, and I'm not going to say, I feel like I suffer more than a light-skinned woman because I can't speak for light-skinned women. But I can talk about my experience, and my experience has always been from women. Like even the whole thing about, you're cute for a dark-skinned girl. Why can't I just be cute?
But that came from men though, right?
They
came from women or men? You cute for a dark skin?
It's definitely come from women because women compliment women. Men don't too much say, oh man, he might say I like your shoes or something. But a man is not just gonna say, oh, you're so handsome. That's not feminine in our femininity. That's just what we do. So we compliment women. So I just feel like that's a problem. I think we need to get over the term and we need to just debunk it and just get it on up out of here. Anything else you want to add?
Well, you broke it down pretty good. I agree with it, I feel like it's subjective, and I think people just kind of run with the notion of, everything is colorism, everything is racism. We got to get over ourselves, get past the bull, focus on being our best self, being an adult, taking care of these kids, taking care of these bills, moving forward in life. Stop worrying about what somebody else think about ourselves, Kind of weak to me.
Everybody not gonna like you, and that's just what it is. And it could not even be your color. It could just be your attitude. Your attitude could just be really, really horrible. Like I've met all kind of people from all races and stuff like that. And I'm not gonna be like, I don't deal with you because you black. This is why I don't like dealing with black people. If I have a bad experience with a black person, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna even say, this white person is just prejudiced. It could just be whatever it is, and it could be colorism, it could be racism, it could be all kind of stuff. I don't know, but at the end of the day, I feel like you have to have your mind in control so that you don't have time to sit there and worry about you have to be able to control everything with your mind. You can't let those small stuff, because those are the small things, and they're not gonna put money in your pocket because somebody don't like you because it is. And you should just get the notion out of your brain. That will make us better people. So I just felt like talking about this topic needed to be talked about because I feel like a lot of us do equate that to that, but we don't look inside and deep within us and see maybe it's some screws loose in us, and maybe it is the things that we're pushing out that's giving back, because you are what you give. So if you giving bad can only come back to you. So I just hope that we continue to be great people and we understand that we are all humans. And at the end of the day, colorism is just a way to separate us yet again. And I just think that that's something that we should not be focusing on. And just like my husband said, we need to focus on the things that are more important, and colorism is not one of them. Thank you guys so much for your support. We really do appreciate you guys. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up.